Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our second episode of our series Continuing Dental Education in the US. Today, we will talk about visa, green card, and citizenship. Again, this is me, Dr. Noor Daras, and my husband, Dr. Thar Al-Qaddoumi. He will be joining us. Please follow us on Instagram at Daras Noor and Thar.Perio to get more information and stay updated with our videos. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you, do you have passport, American passport, or green card? So if you have both, if you have either or, passport or green card, then you have no obstacle to enter the state, okay? But we get asked, if I have the passport or green card, am I exempted from TOEFL? No, you're not, especially if your first spoken language is not English in your country.
Now, the other thing, as Dr. Doris just mentioned, we have many options how to enter the U.S. She talked about passports, talked about green card. Now, when we look at if you have a foreign country passport, for example, here we use Jordan because we're Jordanians. We will talk to you how to get into the country. What are the steps? What are the each timeline for visa situations that you will need to continue your education and work here in the US?
Okay, let's talk about it step by step. So first, you want to go to the US, you want to do the national board exam, or you want to go for interview if you get invited, right? So the first thing you want to do is apply for B1, B2 visa, or we call it visitor visa. So you can apply for this visa through the embassy website. You can just fill the form DS-160 and then go to the interview. And we encourage you that you have the proof for your exam or the interview when you go there, okay? Okay, so let's say that you get the B1, B2 visa, and now you are in the state and you got accepted, and then you will go to the school, right? So in this scenario, then the school will send you I-20 form, which is the student form to continue studying in the US, right? So you have two options. You either stay in the state and change your status from B1, B2 visa to F1 status, or you will go there to your country and then apply for F1 to F2 visa, so you will have multiple entries to the state. But keep in your mind that if you get the status, like if you change your status only without getting the new visa and you stayed in the US, you still want to apply for F1, F2 visa because you only have a status, you don't have visa.
So
So
I just wanna
yeah.
reiterate what Dr. Doris talked about, because this is very, very important, and we've been through this, and we don't want anybody to get into same mistakes that other did. Just differentiate between a visa and a status. You can be in the US on F1 status without having F1 visa if you just change your status from B1, B2 to F1. Now, what does that entail? That means that you cannot leave the US. And if you do, you cannot come back unless you apply for a new visa in your home country. But if you have the F1 visa, you can freely go back and forth as long as your I-20 is valid. This is the main point that we want to emphasize on. And for everyone who has dependents, they always can come on F2 visa that will be dependent on your F1 visa. Okay.
I
Now,
just want to add
yeah.
something. I'm sorry, I just want to add something here that if you get the F1, F2 visa, then you're not allowed to be in the state before 30 days from your start date for your program. For example, if you want to start on July 1st, then you have only 30 days to come to this state before your start program.
Yep, this is a very important point. And when we get asked about B1, B2 visa, my visa gonna expire next month or next week, for example, and but my exam in 2 weeks. Can I come to the US? Visa means nothing about your stay in the US. For example, if your visa expires November 5th, for example, and you come November 4th, you enter the US. Now, your stay in the US is not dependent on your visa. It depends on the immigration officer who let you in the country, they give you a month, they give you 2, they give you 3, they give you up to 6 months. So it's not related to your visa. This is, I want to make sure that everyone is aware of that, and it's not related. Your visa means just the day you can admit and enter the US. You have until November 5th, for example, but it's not related for how long you can stay. Can you work? Definitely you cannot work on B1, B2 visa. F1 visa, you can work up to 20 hours a week. But if you're in dental school, good luck anybody hire you, because you're not going to have time to work unless you come for English course or any other courses, or you do masters online, then you might be able to work.
Also, another thing, we get asked, like, if I have B1, B2 visa, can I still study using this visa? No, you cannot obtain any certificate, or you cannot study using this visa. This visa only meant to use it like a just a visitor visa. You can't obtain any certificate with it, with this visa. You have to apply for F1, F2 visa.
Mhm. And if you do come, for example, for English course or a master's in public health or whatever, and you come on I-20, if you get accepted from a dental school, you have to change the new I-20 to the new school, because the old one will drop you out the minute you finish. So you have to be aware and careful of all these scenarios. Now, let's say you got accepted, you finished your 2-year or 3-year, whatever program you're doing, then you want to practice. Then you work under something called OPT, Optional Practical Training, which gives you 12 months of practicing in the field that you studied, which now we're talking about dentistry. Now, you can use that before graduation or after graduation, but I don't think in dentistry you can do that. You have to get the license in order to be able to work. So 12 months, you work. Meanwhile, you should be working with your employer to start filing your H-1B visa, which is the work visa, or the green card if your employer going to help you with that. Or they can simultaneously apply both of them at the same time. Now, the OPT, as I said, you got to make sure that you have 12 months after. Now, if the OPT expires, you got 60 days that give you like preparation time before you have to leave the country. So within those 12 months, you should get your H-1B green card started in some way, and you have it available, so you'll be able to continue working. Now, usually OPT, you apply for it 3 months ahead of your graduation day, which is 90 days before your graduation. If you when you apply for it, you will start working. You'll use your OPT to work, and they will apply for your H-1B. For example, if you start working, we're talking about 2021, let's say. You start working in June, for example. Your OPT will expire June of the year after. Now, H-1B visa, the application process starts in April. If you get selected, your visa will be valid starting from October of that year. So from June to October, you have 4 months that you don't have any work permit, but you got your H-1B approved. So they will automatically do something called cap gap, which means that they will extend your OPT more to cover you until October, and then you can start working. Okay. Now for the green card, this process, I always recommend to ask your employer to apply for all 4 at the same time, which is the I-765, your work permit, the 131, which is your travel document. So if you want to travel outside the country, you're able to do that. The 485, which is your green card uh, uh, filing, and there's a petition. So when you get the 765 and 131, this is kind of like a temporary green card that's going to help you definitely work, travel outside the country without restrictions, no problems. Now, can you travel when you have OPT? Yes, you can. But do we recommend that? No, because most of the people we know, everyone we know, now the law says that you can travel, but can they guarantee your entrance back? That depends on the officer. who's going to see you that day. So we recommend to play it safe. Just don't travel on OPT. Just travel when you get the green card. That's going to be the best option, or at least you have the combo card, which is the 765 and 131.
I'm sorry, I just want to add something that you said that we can apply for OPT 90 days ahead the graduation. Also, you should apply for the OPT no later than 60 days after the graduation. Otherwise, you will lose it.
Yep, this is a very
Mhm.
important point. And at any step, for example, if you don't get selected for the H-1B and your OPT about to expire and your employer did not start with the green card, now you're in trouble. You have a problem. Then what you have to do is you have to either leave the country or you have to look for a place that would hire you and give you an H-1B visa without getting into the system of the lottery system. Because now work visa has been it's been just your luck. So if you work in a school setting or in some NGOs, they do not get you in a lottery system for the H-1B. You will be guaranteed that you'll take that H-1B. So that would be another route that you can do, and until you get your paperwork going, and that's how you can also stay in the U.S. Okay, so by this, we finished this quick review. I'm sure the U.S. citizens and green card holders may not have a lot of benefit of this, but we expect the majority of the applicants are foreign international dentists where they have foreign passport, and hopefully this should help. And we will continue next time, and we'll go over whatever is remaining. Thank you.